I think there's too much pressure on people to do perfect art. You shouldn't put immense pressure on yourself to make, like, the best thing you can possibly make every time you sit down to draw. Give yourself the freedom to make bad art. I think this is also something that Bones has talked about, but I'm going to dive into this idea a little bit. Okay, why should you give yourself permission to make bad art? Well, one, it's really good for your mental health. Drawing shouldn't be stressful. I mean, don't get me wrong, deadlines and big projects can be a bit stressful. That's totally normal, but the act of, like, making art or drawing, especially if you're just, like, drawing for fun, it should be fun. It should be relaxing or, make you feel good. I mean, I think I've talked about this a lot, but drawing used to stress me out a ton because I thought everything I made wasn't good enough. But in truth, it was good enough for what it was at the time because I was learning a lot. Goodness, my mouth is super dry today. Okay. It's way easier to meet the expectation of I'm going to draw something bad than it is to meet the expectation of I'm going to draw something beautiful. Like, I find when I go into, say I go into like a brainstorming session, like I'm trying to design a new character or I'm trying to design a new illustration. I find it's really good that when I start to sit down and say, this is all going to look like crap. And because it is going to look like crap for, like, the first few iterations of drawing. Say I'm designing a character, right? I tend to do, like, several iterations of drawings. Like, I'll draw them once, I'll draw out an idea, and then I'll draw it again and again and again until it starts kind of looking how I want it to look. Like, I never get it right the first time. So I have to tell myself that that's okay. Because it is. Because doing preliminary sketches and exploring and brainstorming is so important to getting to that quote-unquote perfect spot, When you see other people who put out these, like, beautiful works, there's a ton of, like, behind-the-scenes work that goes into them. Like, there's tons of design work, there's tons of sketching and resketching and scrapping parts that don't work and choosing new color palettes and all that stuff. Like, there's so much that goes into, like, a really pretty picture that expecting yourself to get it right on the first try is like, I don't know, it's like asking yourself to lift a car above your head. Art and sketching especially, so that brainstorming or doodling or sketching, whatever you want to call it, it should be about exploration. Give yourself permission to mess up and draw something weird or stupid or something that looks terrible. Like, I find if I let that go, I tend to get really cool results. And I start pushing myself to do something that I normally wouldn't do. I can't think of, like, a perfect example, but say I was, like, really uncomfortable with drawing curly hair because I just couldn't make it work. I don't actually feel that way right now. But in the past, man. Right, so I couldn't draw curly hair, so by letting myself try and draw several iterations of really stupid-looking curly hair, eventually I learned how to do it. Get out of your comfort zone and learn something new. Some of the best advice I've ever heard was kill your darlings. So that means when I'm working on a piece and I start to overwork it, and I start trying to erase parts of it and redrawing them and trying to make it work because, like, I don't know, I like the pretty eyes or something that I've drawn. When despite, these pretty eyes, the image is broken on, like, a fundamental level. The composition's bad, the anatomy is wonky, there's no structure, or the perspective is, like, weird or something. Like, there's just something broken in it. And trying to salvage it just doesn't work. It's broken. So, kill your darlings means, when that's happening, when you have this broken piece, you have to kill it. You have to scrap it. And again, I've had to do this with, like, pieces that I love. Like, I've had to get rid of entire pages. Like, I finished a comic page and then I have to redo it because it's broken. There's something wrong about it that just makes the whole page look weird. So I've had to, like, start from the beginning and redo it. It's super painful, but I always get a better result the second time. The thing is, if you drew those pretty eyes once, you can do it again. And the image will be better for it with better legs to stand on. Also, to clarify, when I say kill a piece, you don't have to throw it away or burn it or delete it entirely. Feel free to hang on to it for future reference. I remember I brought this up on like a Tumblr post forever ago, and a lot of people were like, don't throw it away forever. And I totally agree with that. Keep it, look back on your old bad art, and like, don't cringe at it. Learn from it. Kill your darling sounds so brutal, but like, it's super freeing. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. It's so crucial to growing as an artist, because making mistakes just means you're learning. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.